Hello, everybody. You are watching the Mary and Joe Show with my lovely co-host Marie Tarot 504.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? We got an early podcast tonight.
We do. We've been on this one for what, 2 days now? We're just like
Yeah, we
enthralled with it.
we've been debating back and forth, so now we're gonna share our minds with y'all.
It's just happening. It's going to happen hard tonight. We really, really are excited to get this one going. Let me go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat. I hope you're all having a good night. Tonight, we're going to talk about the awesome, scary situation.
The awesome, scary situation. It's not awesome.
It
It's
is
really quite
awesome.
disturbing. But in the month of the
Yes.
spooky month, this is one that we've been able to narrow down, and we want to bring y'all different ones. But we've turned out that this isn't going to be just a month of October special.
Oh, no. Yeah. And this one, this particular episode, even though we would like to bring you a lot more details than we have, we will on as time goes on if we can find more. But tonight, we're going to cover Angela Simpson. Angela Simpson in this crazy episode. It's a lot of opinion and a lot of fact we'll be sharing with you guys. So I'm not going to actually do the intro today because I feel like it's just not necessary because this is a non-cannabis related conversation. But if you do enjoy Mary and Joe, please join us as I'm going to light mine right now too. But yeah, let
So
me
as
pull.
far
Yeah, go
so as
ahead.
far as we do know about the background, they don't give a lot of background about Angela Simpson. She was around 33 years old when the murder that she was arrested and charged for happened. I want to say that the victim was 46. Is that what they said?
Yes, no, yeah, 46. You are
Okay.
correct.
So he was already in a facility for disabled, correct?
Right. Let me
Okay,
see if I
so
can make it
46,
bigger.
if we can just put like a little bit, they don't give much. She had been diagnosed with mental illness since the age of 10, had been on and off of medications. We do know that much about her. We do know that she had 4 children, and she was a night worker. She lived that life. She was in that life. You can hear from a lot of her interviews, and I'm sure interviews that we're going to show tonight. Um, that she had been subjected to that. I know that Miss Chronic Chronicles said that there was a lot of abuse. I didn't see where a lot of
In
that.
foster
I did
care,
see
in her
a
foster
lot
care
of
life.
her, but then who was the mother that's taking care of the children if she was in foster care?
I think it was her actual biological grandmother.
Well, how is that if she didn't know her because she was in and out? The whole story doesn't make sense to
Because
me
I
as
think,
far as that. But what I
yeah,
can say is, and we're going to get into it deeper. I know you're not going to be able to keep quiet on it. I just feel like if we're allowed to have the insanity plea for other people, that this case, this woman in society have been like completely, it's definitely a problem because nobody's vindicating for her saying, oh, we need to get her in a mental health facility because they're like, she's crazy, she admits she's crazy, right?
right. When she was diagnosed from 10 on with mental health issues, we can't not take that into account, even in a murder situation. That's extremely
They
important to the
don't all the time.
circumstances.
All the time, the people that have done crimes that aren't like openly like, fuck it, I did it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's
why are
the
we cherry picking this one, especially when it's
right. I don't
before you're
understand
even a
how we're able to
teenager?
try to do the insanity plea for
No,
so many different cases.
right. And I had argued with you earlier that I was under the impression it had more to do with temporary insanity, but you made a good point. That's not necessarily the truth. Some people are um, committed to insane asylums their entire adult life, natural life. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to this case in general, um, I would have to say that every bit of this particular episode is a trigger warning. There's no time that I can say that it couldn't not affect. The aspects to this particular murder case also is heinous because it deals with torture and just far gone beyond just trying to take someone's life. It's mutilation at that and dismemberment.
I mean,
I'll be right back.
I understand that that's disturbing. Like, that could be disturbing for anybody, but it's almost romanticized when you see like the gangster movies and all of this where they're showing things like that. And it's like,
Well
oh, they're
said.
so hardcore and it's so violent. And, this is that thug life. Well, what about the real people that are really living that circumstance? Like, she goes on to say, like, I'm not sitting here saying that she's done a lot of murders and a lot of people see her as a serial killer, but she definitely grew up in that lower rank. And we've got to understand it doesn't make them lower. It's a subject of your environment.
That's right.
And then when you also put on the mental illness part on it, because she is mentally ill, she
Yes.
says herself that her brain failed her. There's things that I cannot believe that we are, as a society, we're like, okay, she should be locked up and put in prison forever because she takes ownership of it. She's been told to take ownership of her mental illness her whole life.
And let's be honest, the reason that she supposedly did what she did, which she'll say in her own words, we will be sharing with you guys tonight. This is just the intro. We really were kind of felt for her reasonings. I mean, if you don't believe in child abusers or snitches, I mean, I guess there's a reason to fight for the cause. I'm not saying it's justifiable, but my God, if you can just, as I said, she's the most sane, insane person I've ever seen. I
But
mean it.
she's been told to swallow her insanity her whole life.
I
Have
was
you
going to start with this one, but I'm going to bring the other one up because I think the other one just paints the picture. She had a long time to think about it. This is 3 years after she was already in the system, wasn't it? The next one I'm going to show. Hold on.
I'm
Let me
not
bring it over. I'm sorry, you guys. We're just so impassioned about this one because it's incredible. There's the one. Let me
I don't
see.
I don't necessarily think it's incredible. I think that it's a real
There
look
we go.
into that class, unfortunately, and I'm not talking down because I mean, I honestly I can relate in a lot of ways, and um
Yep.
I think she felt like she was doing the right thing in her mind at the moment. And she still feels it to this day. I mean, we
Mm-hmm.
don't know what this guy was saying. They had
We don't
obviously known
exactly.
each other. He had honestly, it had been a trick. It had been a trick.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that as much violence as she did, and as for many days as she had him there, I think it was, a crime of passion.
That's
Honestly, I
right.
do. She went, no matter what. Okay, let's just dumb it down. Okay, let
Yep.
me just dumb it down for a second. You're a person of the streets. That's how you make your money. You're making your living. Hey, there's a lot of money into it. Okay.
Right.
Whatever, whatever, whatever. You're still, anytime that you have sexual intercourse with another person, y'all are sharing, no matter if there's a condom involved or not. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
are sharing that energetic. They're taking a piece of you, you're taking a piece of them.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you're doing it for money. It doesn't matter what you're doing it for. That's what's happening. That's why sexual intercourse is what it is. It's been taboo somewhere. I mean, it's like that one article that you read that those people were swingers and they accepted it,
That's
and
right.
the child didn't know. And what a hard situation for that child to later, she didn't find out until she was in her, what, 40s?
Right. Yeah, the one who didn't know her DNA.
Right. That's what I'm talking about. So it's
Yep.
like, but
I haven't shared it yet.
in
That's a
their
good one.
sexual situation, everybody was on the up and up, but they were sharing their chemicals. Obviously, they created a baby.
Right.
So we can't sit here and everything has a reasoning. And
I
just
also
to
want to
go back, I think that you have no idea what this guy said. He was
right.
46 years old, living in a disabled facility, and obviously could walk because it was on the second floor, and he had abandoned his damn wheelchair. What kind
So
of freak was
insane.
this guy? What was this guy doing?
Well, and he was supposedly told that he was lured with the hopes of, well, the
Drugs and
promises of
sex. Well, how
Yes.
many times were they having drugs and sex
That's
every
what
other
I'm
time that
saying.
this guy
What
was
drugs
willing to
was she
jump
on?
off his little motorized vehicle and ride on up there? You know, this
Is
guy.
this crack induced? Is this what is this? I mean, oh my God. That's I mean
What
they
was he
don't
saying
talk
to her
about
for
any
her
of
to feel
that.
like he was an informant and he was getting information? And of course, now they're like, oh, we can say certifiably that he wasn't an informant. What cop is going to go on there and give away their informants, period? What? That's not a believable thing. This guy could have been saying it. He could have been
He
mentally out of his
also
mind. He said it to the wrong person.
That's
He knew
right.
what he was doing. He was in the streets. This facility obviously wasn't in a good neighborhood if she was picking him up as a trick many times
That's
before.
what I'm saying.
Let's really
Where
look at the facts. What was
thank
this
you for
guy?
saying that. I was
I'm not,
gonna
and
say,
look,
what kind of
was he a
facility
victim?
is allowing that kind of
I
I mean,
am
they're
not
supposed
victim
to be
shaming.
overseeing
I
these
want to
people that
say
are disabled.
before this video gets hit or I have haters, I'm not victim shaming. I'm
No.
not saying that he wasn't victimized and he wasn't killed and this was brutal and I something out of my worst nightmares. You know, I definitely
But
don't want
where's the
torture.
oversight of
But
him
in
being in a
reality,
facility?
was
Yeah,
he in that situation? Was he? I mean, everybody knows when, look, listen,
right.
okay? I'm not going to the ninth ward thinking I'm in a greatest situation. I'm going to go talk my shit and ride on my motorized scooter to get me some pussy and some drugs. And I'm going to talk all this shit and just jump back on my bike. And I'm thinking everything's great because my facility's in the ninth ward. I'm going to be looking at my surroundings like, wait a second.
Yeah,
I'm going to shut the fuck up, ride to the corner store and ride back. You know?
that's right. I think we should give a taste to the listeners, just a few moments of this, and then we'll go to another interview and go back and forth in time just to understand. And that way we won't get striked. It's the only way to do it, guys. So bear with the mental thoughts here. We're just more so trying to point out that I personally am sitting here saying I think the doctors failed society by putting people in jeopardy with someone who was obviously vulnerable to hurting someone. Usually when you're put into a facility at the age of 10 for mental health issues, then there's a big underlying problem. And
So you feel
then
like they should be locked up from go?
no, I think the doctors should be. Where were the doctors overseeing it? If she had to be hospitalized before she was 13 years
She
old,
was turning tricks, girl. She ain't had no money. This will lead us right back to that one conversation that we keep circling around that we don't even know how exactly to produce because
yeah,
in reality, they're not caring about us. The health system, the
you're
whole
right.
Medicaid, the medical. I mean, this lady clearly didn't have money to go to the doctors and get. And then if she did have the money to go to the doctors, she didn't have the money to fill the prescriptions.
I wonder, was she
Was she on
already?
disability?
I
No,
was
she
just
wasn't
gonna.
on disability.
I
She had
wonder,
turned tricks.
but that's not 100% true too, because even SSI recipients, they're a big portion of the sex workers in America, sadly.
Look, I'm going to tell you now, if this lady was also on Social Security and you can find that out and we put her
That's
in
what I'm
fucking prison,
saying. I think
we
she
have her in
had to be
prison
because she
today
was
instead
so
of in a mental
young. There you
facility,
go. There you go. That's high
we
five.
have
We're
culturally
failing.
failed.
We're failing. That's right. That's the whole point.
I mean,
This
our
is,
tax,
yes.
listen, guys, our tax money's already going to this, no matter what she's getting
There you
money
go.
somewhere.
Amen. I
Why
agree
wouldn't
with
it
you.
be to a facility instead of, I mean, we got these guards coming up here like they're scared and she's drawing piggy illustrations talking about, oh my God. Go
Right.
ahead and
We're
roll the
gonna,
tape.
yeah, let's
Just
do.
go
We're gonna
ahead
be
and roll the
eating
tape because
some
I'm
damn
saying too much.
information.
You're very upfront
Pretty much.
about talking about this killing.
Right.
You murdered this man.
Yes,
You tortured him.
of course.
There is no ambiguity, and there is nothing you want to. In court today, you said you're not here to pretend to be remorseful.
Of course not. Why would I do that?
Are you remorseful?
Not at all.
Why?
Why would I be?
Well, why did this man deserve to die? You claimed he was a snitch.
Well,
what proof do you have of that?
He told me he was a snitch
Told you.
on many occasions.
On
But that
many
really doesn't matter.
occasions.
Why did you guys want to kill me? Phoenix wanted to kill me.
On many occasions. It wasn't like they just met one day and he said he was a snitch and she was like, say, come up here with me. on
That's
many
what I'm
occasions.
saying.
It's a
Yep.
crime of passion. Like, she
Well
developed
said.
a relationship with this guy. He was coming and making her feel like trash because in his
Mm-hmm.
eyes she was trash. And at some point she apparently was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this. And she made
Yep.
him sit there and deal with it for days. It was crime
In the
of passion.
mirror.
You don't
In the
stab
mirror,
somebody
folks.
50 times. You don't stab somebody 50 times and not feel anything. Do you know how hard it is to stab through a person?
Different knives. Not just one. Different knives. She would leave them in him. The nails that she drove in his head, several 3-inch nails into his head. Me and Marie have talked about, like, was he still alive? Was he not?
No
Because
matter if
she
he was
claims he
alive or not,
was.
once you hit that brain, like, I mean, this is the thing, like, your
Sick.
receptors, your body bag has receptors, and at some point,
Yep.
your body's going to put you out of it. Like,
I
it,
do think he probably went into shock. But and what do you think what do you think? She
I think
said
he went
she
brain dead
pulled
with.
every single one of his teeth out of his mouth, put him in front of a mirror, strapped him to the chair. I mean, what else? She cut him up too. So, like, was that after he was gone? Was she doing it while he was alive? Like, all this sickness because he was dismembered and burned. So
Well,
me
at
and
some point, she called her boy Cracker into
oh
it.
jeez. Yep. Yeah. Who was that? Who are the
I'm
other
pretty
guys?
sure
We'll
that's
have to be
who's.
adding more to it because
I'm pretty
I haven't
sure
even looked
Cracker
into
is the
them.
one that she's talking about, that snitch that went all the way, and she was
She
like,
wished she had taken care of him too. She said, "Yeah,
no, she said she wouldn't have been able to because she had
No,
formed
I
a
heard her
bond.
say it on another one that she was that if
Well,
she
she also
doesn't,
goes back and forth on a lot of things because the
she's
lady is clearly mentally unwell.
touched. She's touched.
What's the difference? Everybody has a reason to kill.
No, they don't. No, we don't.
I think
Uh-uh.
that, see, and I tend to disagree. Like, if I think the death sentence, I'm definitely for the death penalty. I do think that everybody does have a reason to kill. I think if the if you if you done the crime, you're gonna do the time, and an eye for an eye. Like, I do honestly feel in that. I really do. I do feel like at some points,
I
it
think a murder case or things like that when I was much younger, I had very strange views. Like we're talking pre 9/11. I had strange views that maybe people should be tortured. But then that was brought up over 9/11 and I was like, no, I don't believe in that. So I don't I don't know. I don't know. Is it more of a torture to keep these people alive? I mean, some of them, even her, she describes the way it's. I don't know if we're going to hear it on these interviews. It might have been on a different one, but I heard her point blank claim that, she's not treated well as a prisoner. And I'm like, wait a second now. We could talk about some New Orleans prisons. Would you like to share? There are some scary ass prisons that people are not treated well, but they're there. But that really depending on the crime, don't you think?
I mean, no, I think it's dependent on what kind of time you're serving. If you're serving time and you're going upstate, well, baby, good luck to you.
Right.
Because they're going to have you doing all sorts of crazy shit, and crazy shit's going to happen to you, and you ain't going to be right.
Right.
Them country people, they're a whole different kind of people down south.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do because it's leading up to it. We're gonna just have to do an episode on prisons in the world. That sounds like a nice episode.
My reason might not be good to you, but your reason wasn't good to me. So
The incident, can you tell me anything about what happened during those 3 days while you were?
what do you mean?
I
I took him to my house, walked him down the street. I don't know why the media acts like the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. Walked him upstairs, kicked his ass, and killed him.
And
Callous as shit.
I just think she's being honest.
Okay, so what
I
I
don't know
watched.
why they said the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. He was already doing his thing, and he was telling her I'm telling you, my gut's never wrong on this stuff. It was a crime of passion. It wasn't. They had been doing this for a while, and this guy was saying stuff to her. And am I saying she was right? No, she was mentally ill. She was
Definitely.
mentally ill.
Definitely. Definitely.
And again, your belief is that he was a snitch because he
Right.
told you. You claimed that that other people had been killed in that same part. You had killed other people. Have you killed other people?
No, I've never killed anyone else.
So that was something.
So this is where we've heard in other interviews, me and Marie, that she has said no, but she'll always reference her attorney. That's what I noticed. So I don't know anymore because the previous interviews she's done earlier into her crime and her being and doing her time, she was like, they'd have to really give me some reasons to tell everything. So I don't know. Could we see her in her late ages being like, okay, here's the truth? What do you think?
No, I think she's seen a lot of things. I think she might have been a part of some other killings. I think the streets are rough. I think the streets are really rough. And I personally live with my blinders on. I choose that, but I'm well aware of what's out there. And I think that if we take a look, like a lot of these mentally unstable people aren't getting fair treatment. And it's really a shame. It's really, and so we're giving this person life, but we're not going to give, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. But the kids that, shot somebody and stuff, they're getting what, 12 years?
Right.
They were a part of they gave somebody drugs that killed them, that kind of murder. They're only getting, a certain amount of time. I mean, it's just, this lady was unhealthy.
That's what I'm saying. Her
She was
doctors
the
failed
bottom of the
us.
barrel. She didn't have no money to take care of
Yep.
herself. Lord only knows what her circumstances are. There's millions of them out here in the United States of America daily that are living this life right here, that are seeing these kind of crimes take place. And the mafia and everything, it's all romanticized. Again, on the big screen, it's romanticized. And people are thinking that could never happen in real life. It happens in real life, folks. It happens in real life.
All the time. Like we were just saying that there's bigger situations that we know that we don't know. You know what I mean? We already know they exist, but everybody knows and nobody's going to say anything. That kind of situation exists in everybody's backyard constantly. And
My
when you're
question
dealing,
is how do we pick and choose what, the media knows about, what they're like, look over here and see, but yet we don't hear about little Susie down the street.
right.
Why? Like, what's going on here? Like, and then how do we get like Summer Wells information, but we don't know about another case? Like, where is it?
And to stereotype her as just being completely crazy and leaving it at that. But who was responsible in the past to oversee? Again, if this woman was
Even today,
struggling,
who?
that's what I'm saying. Anybody. I believe that if you're dealing with before 13 years old mental health issues that put you in a hospital, there should be some serious fucking oversight, whether you are considered disabled or not, whether they think it's like you can, if it's a depression stage, like suicidal tendencies and whatnot. I think that there should be some oversight in a person's life because this is examples of what trauma. She was sexually abused several times in her foster um and in the streets supposedly, and then like you said, we all know, then she became part of the prostitution networks in Phoenix, which I was explaining to Marie earlier that I've been to Phoenix many fucking times, and it's on in the daytime, guys, it's gorgeous. In the nighttime, I'm sure it's fucking scary, which is just so ridiculous that it's just systemic. This problem is ongoing. So we have someone who, like you said, needs to fucking survive, which makes perfect sense. Okay, uses the streets as its means of countering that destruction, which is life, feeding yourself. She had 4 babies which were taken by her mother, supposedly. Maybe it is the foster mother. Who knows? Maybe that's how it, as easy as it was a system to get these babies in there. Who knows? Who knows? But she's now the rest of her life from one crime in such a sick passion. Let's go on, because this is not even scraping the surface.
This talk.
Right.
How do you feel about spending the rest of your life in prison?
I got a lot of family in prison, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I got many sisters in prison. I can't wait to see them. It's really not that much of a punishment to be sentenced to spend my life with my family.
And you don't want to talk about your past, but your lawyer said that, in sentencing you, the judge should bear in mind that you had a really
Right.
tough life.
I started being hospitalized at 10 years old. I have a mental history from 10 years old until present. So, yeah.
Well, then that just clarified it, Marie, did it not? And didn't I say she had mental health? No, she said mental history. That is the kindest way you could say it to yourself.
Right.
Because that's a very good point. We were talking about it earlier. I said, and he refers to his mental health, and she says mental history. She's not self-identifying. That's a different category. Okay, let's just keep that in mind.
Say mental history. I mean, do you care that anyone feels sorry for you? Do you want anybody?
Feel sorry for me?
Yeah. Should the people who are watching this say because she had a bad childhood,
Of course not.
Because she has mental illness?
Of course not. No.
That we should feel some sympathy for you?
No.
You would not have that.
I want no sympathy. No.
What then? Do you care what anybody thinks about Angela Simpson and what you have done?
I don't.
It's again, your candor. I've interviewed people who have committed murders before, and usually they sort of prevaricate or they this or that. You're about as direct as it gets.
Right.
Why is that?
It's only fair. I expect you to be the same way.
Okay. Do you think that it was fair today? It was justice in that courtroom?
I think she's taking ownership.
No.
I'm really like,
I
well,
should have gotten the death penalty.
No, for
like, I should
real.
have got the death penalty, right? Jail's
I
not
think
that
she's
bad.
the
My
most.
sister's gonna be there. What?
I don't think even Charlie Manson went with that shit. Like, that would have been intense if that man said something like that. She wins.
I don't care
The
what anybody
crazy.
says. I think it was a crime of passion. I think
No, it was. You're right.
Several times, and he had said over and over again, and probably said all sorts of crazy shit to her, and it got into her head. And I mean, she had said my mental health, like she has a history of it and everything. I mean, she was out there doing tricks. Again, let's go back. If I'm going to go into the Ninth Ward and think that I'm in this little disabled facility and I'm going to talk shit to everybody, like, I'm going to get what's coming for me, and this is real life. Like, it really does happen this way. And I just think, I don't know, did we societally mess her up? I mean, she said,
that's right. You said it. That's it. Did we societally mess her fuck up? Yes, we did, because we fucking stopped caring when it wasn't financially acceptable to fucking care. We all became a possibility of getting hurt. Yes. It wasn't just her. It's insanity that I have to worry for whoever else exists out there who isn't fucking getting themselves help. Maybe they have an addiction like her. Maybe they're like, maybe. They don't even know how many scoots away they are fucking being in jail for the rest of their fucking life. Just because their crime of passion may be, and their brain makes sense, but maybe they need to fucking like take a step back. Like, we don't know. Well, how did anybody else know how fucking insane the situation was getting with this guy? She says herself she had chatted with him many times. This is 2009, was it not, when the crime happened?
Yes.
So how good were phones back then? What phones you have? I had a flip phone still.
I have no idea what phone I had in 2009.
So was data collected the same way it is now? Like, I mean, folks, if you're listening, don't kill people. It won't help you,
Don't kill people if you're listening. I think that
No, but let's be real fucking serious here. I think the woman had an addiction problem and a mental health problem. When you have those two problems together, makes the decision making not that fucking great. And then again, we got to point a finger at somebody because I'm sorry. Yes, she's responsible, but there were other people responsible as well. Like, okay, she lost her 4 kids. We got to know. Anybody who doesn't have custody of their kids or there's some kind of issue like there's probably a real problem with that person, unfortunately. And maybe they need to seek help to maybe like get back with their kids or something. I don't know. Because in
So
her
are you
situation,
thinking
she easily, if there was oversight, maybe could have worked towards that. Who knows? She only killed one person. I'm going to be the
supposedly?
devil's advocate in this one.
Supposedly she only killed one.
Right.
But
Let's
I
go
mean,
back to
okay,
there you
so
go.
she killed one person, da 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 da. But like, shouldn't we look at again? Let's circle back to him. Like, what was he doing that he was able to check himself in and out of this disabled home and just like scooter on off to get himself a trick?
That's what I'm saying. And what fucking
Like,
drugs?
what was going on here? Again, 46. I know a lot of 46-year-old people. I couldn't have. What was going on with this guy? Like, what was really going on here?
So was the facility in the hood and they were only wanting money? That sounds more like it.
Was it? I don't know. They don't.
Let's look into that. We're going to look into the little bit of research on all of it because actually I did find a video
It
that
took us a
showed.
long time to even get where this was located at. They don't
Right.
get all of that.
But I did
So
see someone walk through the premises and the house was being renovated at the time and the amount of blood and things that were everywhere. Oh my God.
it
So
didn't
she
look like it
let
was
him
being
bleed
renovated
out.
to me. It did not look like it was being renovated to me. It looked like they hadn't touched that motherfucker since the police had been in there. They was like, yeah, sure, you can come by 3 years later and take a walk through. The bleach is still on the counter, ma'am.
Yeah, right.
To me, it just looked like the circumstances, and they got hoods everywhere. And the thing is that again, is this right? No, this should definitely, but the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. If you ain't got the ability, the
She was
funding to get
right.
yourself help, and like we both said, as far as the Social Security claims, was she on Social Security disability? Because it was clear that she had mental health issues. And I said no, but you said
I
you
believe
don't
she
know.
had to be. If she was in the system, they got that check. I believe it with my core. And you know how much that check could be when you're in adolescence? As high as $800 a month. That's it. I'm not even making it up.
Well,
That's
she
it.
was in
If you get
foster
it,
care. I mean, I don't
but
know. Her
she was.
upbringing,
Mhm.
she was a situation, this happens every day. And again, we're romanticizing this kind of torture. Where did she get the idea to do this kind of torture? Where did she get it from?
Movies. You're
Or
right.
or hearing everybody in the hood talking about it.
That's right.
It's
She also made an
romanticized.
image for herself that she was big and bad. So then, like you said, to live up to it, maybe she was capable and, like you said, idolized it.
He
And
was a rat. Bitch.
yeah. But what really got me, and hang on, just hear me out. What really got me is at the point when she's like, yeah, he was a rat. I did. He thought nobody could do justice, and I was able to do justice. And then I thought, well, what is in turn? Then you're putting yourself there. Like the rat's not a very smart rat killer. I don't know. Now you're in jail too. Everybody's in jail. Are we not fucking looking at the point here? It's crazy. But yeah. Are you there, Marie?
I'm here.
Okay.
Sorry, having issues with the animals tonight.
Yes, so do I. Hold on one second. Can you
I
come
mean,
up one
there is
second?
okay, so there's
Let's
care that's overseen, but she's not in a mental facility. She's in
no.
prison where guards are publicizing how they're scared, and she's doing fucking little piggy drawings, thinking
Oh, we will
she's
get
getting
to
a
that.
kick off of making these guards scared. She's like, this is a Christmas card to my family.
Here,
And I mean, she's running with it. She's running with it. And
let's do this.
I think that it's to me, it's scarier that we're not realizing that this is happening every day all over the place. There are mentally ill people that do not get the care, and they do self-medicate with illegal substances
That's
every
correct.
day. Every day.
And that's just the problem. I'm like, it isn't just affecting her, it's affecting strangers too. Because now there's people potentially getting hurt, which did.
Did you want the death penalty?
No, I prefer to spend my life with my sisters, but yeah, I do believe that would have been justice.
So you deserve death penalty, but you're glad that you got what you got.
Right.
Because you.
Right.
When you say your sisters, you're talking about women you know in prison.
Right.
Okay. And have you found that that there is some bonding and that you have made friends here that will be of some comfort to you when you're in prison?
Most definitely, yes.
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah.
What has the experience been like here in this facility?
Horrible.
Really?
Yes, it's terrible. Jail is awful. They don't, they have no, well, they have no compassion. They don't give us the things we need here.
Will prison to your understanding?
I certainly hope so, yeah.
Have you done time in prison?
No.
So you're hoping that it will be a better existence.
Yes,
for you,
definitely.
You're a young woman, 36 years old. You could be there a long time.
Right.
So I think this is such a good example, truly, of a person who's just, I've given up on everything. You know, I honestly think that we should look at the other one real quick. Do you want to take that roller coaster with me?
Go ahead.
The part where she's talked about in the jail system, which is just alarming, because that's where I have compassion to this circumstance, but I also feel like there are other people that are involved. So I'm like, you know, circumstances, karma, Kate, it's the situation. I don't think she deserves to be where she's at. I think she needed more help than she's getting.
Interviewed at the Maricopa County Jail. One in particular made an equally striking impression on both our crew and detention staff. Her name is Angela Simpson.
Simpson, I think, is a very scary individual. She's probably the only one in there that I take every precaution in the world to.
She's telling me it's me in the Miss Piggy drawings. She's saying it's me.
It is 100% what it is.
Oh God.
Oh, let's take a long, hard look. Let's see how good her quality and her perspective is. Okay, we got it.
She is the one in this whole jail that creeps me out, for a better word.
I was the first person on the crew to get introduced to Angela Simpson. And upon meeting her, the first things that came out of her mouth when I approached her, she pretty much told me to go F myself. For someone to write off the bat, be like, hey, go.
This lady's in the wrong place if she's afraid with that. I'm sorry. That's the least. No. That's childish right
F
there.
yourself. It's like, all right, welcome to jail.
Simpson is a very scary person. She is, just by the nature of her crimes and the way that she has been here and just her manners and that, she just doesn't seem to have a lot of those inhibition controls that most people would. And because of that, she can be very much a threat to staff. So we have to keep her in a very controlled setting.
Simpson was accused of kidnapping, torturing, and murdering a man she believed to be a police informant. She is then said to have dismembered the corpse, set it on fire, and to have thrown the remains in a dumpster.
I heard they said I was possessed by the devil. I think that's hilarious. Isn't that beautiful?
The media said.
What? Hey, Nikki, my girl. High five, high five. Hey, UFO. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Michael. Yes, this is the most intense crazy eyes I've ever seen. I mean, I'm just saying. Whew. Do you think possession? I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe.
At all. I think
No.
I think she is a product of her environment. I think that she was mentally ill. I think she did have a lot of circumstantial situations. I think that, I mean, hey, she's not on the streets. She's got 3 hots and a cot.
But this is the result of being on the streets too. let's say, oh, that's a whole nother, let's just say that prostitution wasn't the problem here, and um being around abuse and violence is. Maybe that's it. Like you said, it's a mirrored thing that it's so easily and so like didn't even think about it, behaviors,
Right.
product of your environment, the equivalent.
Did some pretty heinous things. Does that bug you?
Does it bug me? What people say? No. My give a is broke.
No, Nikki, she killed a person who was a special needs um individual, disabled man in a, is it a group home, or what would it be? What kind of a care facility?
Yeah.
Special needs care
Was in
facility?
some kind of
Yes.
health facility, and he had a motorized scooter. They said he was a paraplegic, but he could walk. So it's kind of confusing.
Just hear us out. It gets gruesome. So trigger warning. It's great for your Sunday evening.
I really don't. I have no concern for what people think. I told my kids when they were babies they saw a guy behind a Circle K. I told them that's how cops grow. So yeah, I didn't know that they would the next week go alley and try to grow a cop. That was not my intention, but yeah.
She seems to have a true gang type mentality. Snitches get stitches, wind up in ditches. No cop is a good cop. She'll stare you down sometimes, and it's over. You get the little hair on the back of your neck standing up.
I've asked God a lot to spontaneously combust officers just to watch them pop.
Where does that come from?
Where does it come from?
Your hatred of cops.
That's not something I'll discuss.
Simpson.
I gotta just take a breather with that one. Jesus Christ. Combust cops. Combust. Let me see you. Boom. That's crazy. Crazy.
Could face the death penalty for first-degree murder and kidnapping. The charred, dismembered remains of the victim, who authorities state was not an informant, were discovered inside a trash can. He had been stabbed 50 times and showed other signs of torture.
They lit him on fire,
Simpson
stuck him
has
in a
entered a
trash
not
can,
guilty-
and put him at a church. They were like, "This is gonna really get these people going."
What a metaphor to
Let's
put him in
They
the
was
park.
definitely loaded, thinking that this. I mean, her and the guy Cracker. I mean, where's this guy? He was the one that totally said it was her that did everything. He definitely turned quick. He
Did
turned
Cracker
quick.
bring the guy in the wheelchair up the stairs, or could the
Who
guy in the
knows?
wheelchair walk? That's the question here.
Who knows? Who really even knows? Because that guy was obviously involved.
Deeply in court, she openly describes some of her actions to us.
I have to say, I have never met an inmate who made me so uncomfortable. What did you do that you would consider torture?
Ripped his teeth out. That's my favorite.
How'd you do that?
With some needle nose pliers. Kind of rip,
What made you think of that,
What made me think of it?
to do that?
Prior tooth pain. Pretty agonizing. Yeah. I thought maybe I could distribute that.
What's up with that part?
That was interesting.
I know. I noticed that one earlier. Distribute the pain?
Yeah, she was in her own head, dude. She is.
Do you package that up in tiny little packages with a
I
bow
think
on
that
top and put
was
it out in the
always
world?
told, like, and since she was getting health treatment at around 10, that she had to accept it, and this was a part of her. She does seem very honest. I
I'm
mean,
telling you,
I've
like
gotta
that's like you,
for that.
like you should have.
That's an honorable thing.
Man, the eyes are not gonna lie. The eyes are not gonna lie.
The victim also had a 3-inch nail driven into his head.
She is the one in this whole jail that creeps me out, for a better word. She just, you just don't know what she's going to do.
Thank you, Miss Simpson. The visceral descriptions that she gave of her crime, of torturing an individual and dismembering her victim, I had never heard anybody describe anything like that, and I had certainly never heard anybody describe it with such.
You crazy bitch.
I kind of like her too, though. I kind of like her too. I can't even. I'm like, well, she seems honorable.
I'm like pushing my hair back, taking in the air of the crazy in the room.
I mean, I just kind of. I mean, who walks around saying they're a snitch and everything? Like, this guy was out there, like, I'm ratting on people, bitch. Like, you all give me a discount. I mean, I don't know.
Is that what it was?
I told
Now
you, I
that's
don't know.
different.
Again,
Now that
I'm
I
not
can
trying to
kinda
put it on the
see.
victim. I'm not
You know
trying to.
what?
You know what? I'm
That's a
sorry
good
that I keep
point.
going that right. Because he
Girl.
was tortured. At the end of the day, it wasn't right. He was tortured. But I mean, circumstantially, like, what was he doing? What were the people at the facility doing? Just letting him like check out at 8 p.m. and roll his little scooter down the street.
He never scootered back. That's what we know. Horrible.
Glee.
Anything I can do to help put a snitch down is my pleasure.
What?
So it was your pleasure when you committed this murder?
Look at her upper lips. Look at the eyeballs. Oh my. Breathe.
See, that's kind of
So she takes that offensively, but if you put a nail through someone's head and you make them watch you in the mirror do it, that's okay. We're all different strokes for different folks, I guess. My God.
I'm thinking, I don't know what my lawyer would say if I answered that straight out. Hold on.
That's what I was saying earlier, Marie, that she says.
Yes, it was. But, yeah.
It was
So the question was about the attorney. Did you hear that? Where they were like,
Yeah, she's like,
is
I'm
she
not sure
done-
I can answer that out
Or
front
did-
my attorney. Like, yeah, she don't know if she could say it out front. She's already gone balls to the walls with it. So anyway, what he was doing was she was a prostitute. He apparently had been running his mouth to her for months that he was a rat, like he was a snitch. He was an informant of the police.
The
And
police.
he was apparently lured into her apartment with sex and drugs. That's the backstory.
Second floor.
It was definitely a crime of passion. She definitely killed this man. She wanted him to see his own face because he was telling her that nobody could take him out. And so she decided she was going to show him he wasn't so bad anymore.
Psycho.
really extraordinarily disturbing. I still think about it.
It's pretty rewarding work. It's great for the soul.
What were you trying to
That scares me. Her smile scares me.
get out of it?
He thought it was funny that the people he had snitched on would never get out of prison. So I wanted him to know how funny it was that they didn't need to.
And I guess the strange thing for me was during the whole interview, I was 2 feet from her. I was holding a reflector to try to block some stray light. And as she's telling these stories.
Can you describe to me the things you did?
No, because I'll get all excited and he'll be in trouble. No, I don't think I should do that.
I think she's dramatizing it in a lot
My
of ways.
fingers,
She
can you
does
guys
feel
hear
like
me
she's
chewing my
so
nails
hard.
over here? I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I mean,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Mm.
It's sad. I'll give you that. It's definitely
Why
sad.
couldn't all that insanity be tuned into the military or something?
Girl
They,
need Jesus. Yes, well, she does have Jesus. She believes she deserves to die.
She says that.
Yeah, just he's too close for me to, get all hot with the story. So leave that alone.
And I just laughed it off thinking it was this big joke. And as she told her story, I realized, well, maybe she wasn't joking.
Is it hard to chop up a human body?
Nah, not really. You'd be amazed. It's quite simple, actually. You should try it. It's only a felony 6. Knock it down to a misdemeanor. Dismemberment it's a really low charge.
Now, why is that way? Can I please write a letter? I got a letter to write. Can we up that to 16? This is strange. Why is that way? Did we clean it up for you? Oh my God.
I don't know. I feel like dismemberment would be very hard. Like, I don't know. I feel like, oh wow.
No, it's a bit smiley.
Sometimes it seemed like she was playing a game.
Yeah.
And then other times you could tell that it wasn't a game anymore, but she was reciting something that she actually, something that she likes to talk about. every now and then I would pop in and just go talk to Angela, check in with her. And a lot of times she would just be sitting there drawing, and she would always be in a Zen-like state, just very calm while she was sitting here doing her drawings. She told
That's what scares me about the whole thing. Now I'm going to look at every calm person and be like, you're a murderer. You're a fucking murderer, man.
Oh my
I'm going to go like that in their face to see if they get like a little dramatic. And then I'll be like, you won't kill me. All right, good. But if anybody else just stares at me, I'm walking away, man.
told me she'd done some drawings for some Christmas cards, and I was expecting to see, something happy or light for some reason. I don't know why. And these drawings ended up being probably some of the most graphic things I've ever seen.
Here's one from my brother. I got to send that to him.
This is where she's in her piece, guys. This. Stop. This is
perfect.
Oh,
Let's see
my God.
right here. Do you see what this is? Let's get a little closer.
It's cute.
Adorable.
Don't you?
Now we know.
She's intimidating guards with her drawings. It's
and she
ridiculous.
hands this
It's
to
definitely
them.
traumatized, but
yeah, she drew that. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Nikki. Yeah, I'm almost at the 2 or at the 1. You want to help me out, girl? Get your minions over here, girl. No. Yeah, I thought this looked a little bit obnoxious. Are they digging each other's pants or pockets? Can I ask?
I have no idea what's going on.
Kind of looks like pants to me. Is that a big pant?
She's doing her own little thing. She's intimidating these cops. I'm not going to get all that.
So listen, folks.
Love the pigs in a blanket. It's just so cute, isn't it?
Angela, you must see that it makes things contentious with the officers.
Of course not.
It's not exactly conducive to a good rapport between you and the
I
officers.
think it is. We know what we are. They know what they are. And what's the, there's no problem.
You don't think that that's slightly insulting to them or slightly threatening?
No. Can I show you one that is? Maybe it could be threatening, but I didn't mean it that way. This was my first officer down picture. That could be rude, but not really.
Oh my God. Yeah. To drive a 3-inch nail, it's wild. Agreed.
Yes, it is wild.
That's too much.
Brain dead. Your receptors in your body are only going to let you feel so much pain. Like it will shut off. That is definitely the case. We see that in a lot of situations, like we were talking about with the McCrae case. Like it's definite. His body is unresponsive. I mean, he's responding slowly but surely. I know we haven't gotten any recent updates on that, but your body will shut down at some point. And with a 3-inch nail as soon as it hit any of that brain, I think as soon as it drilled into the skull, he might have gone out.
I
hope.
I don't know. I've heard people having pipes through their head and surviving that shit. I have seen and throat and things like that.
And they weren't combing out or anything?
No, they came back. They
came back, right? But they went out at some point, right?
No.
I don't know.
Coherent the whole time. I have watched things where like tree branches have went through people's eyes. Sorry, guys. Okay.
I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, it's
honestly,
terrible.
The eye is a very sensitive subject for me. Ugh. I don't want nothing around my eye. Even the idea of being poked around the eye just totally freaks me out. No, thank you. I'm good.
I'm like, okay.
And do you know, like when people get glass eyes? I did not know this, but did you know that they do roll out? Like I'm not.
Yeah, they do.
It's a real situation.
Yes, it is.
That's like.
I've actually known a few people in my life who've had it, so that's the one thing that I'm like.
I mean, it's got to be hard to live with, because for me, that would be very traumatic, and so shout out to them,
right?
Warriors.
I always think of like not paraplegics, but I guess you would say that someone who has like your knee or something, your leg. That's so hard. I can't even imagine the torture it is to relearn how to walk with stuff like that.
I
Here we
can't
go.
remember, honestly.
Make a kid's book or something, for the baby gangsters coming up.
Officer Down series.
The baby gangsters coming up.
They actually
Oh,
asked
tell me
if
about
she
that.
knew somebody, and no, she didn't know anybody personally.
6 officer.
Well, what's
Oh,
happening in this picture?
thank you, Nikki.
A cop has been captured and we're having fun with him. Yeah, it's just a Christmas card, but they get uncomfortable.
So I'm not sure about this one. Where is the policeman? Is he right there? Is he there? He's there. We've got a girl in a bra. Her hair's down. What's happening here? Don't know. Are they sitting on his butt? They're sitting on his butt. We've got a guy hitting with a paddle. I mean, okay.
When they find these things.
When I saw Angela's drawings, they were so disturbing, and they really got to this deep seated hatred that she seems to have for police officers.
They use their authority in any way they want to because they can.
Now that I agree with her, that I have a problem with, and that needs to fucking change. That's something I can't even, she's right. Sorry. I don't, even in a jail system, there should be a little bit, things are just fucking out of control.
And there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Simpson went on to explain how she ranks those she considers to be the lowest of the lows.
Chomos are definitely beyond any doubt the worst.
I have a question to the community of true crime and truth seekers. Why aren't we actually using that as, we don't use that here on YouTube. Why aren't we using that? That makes more sense than all these other freaking words we're using. If this is a well-known, that makes more sense. This would make it easier. I don't know. Are we not? I haven't heard a single it actually caught me off guard when I heard it today. I was like, well, shit. We're not allowed to say that word. Why can't we say this one? It's very interesting because everybody would know what it meant. Doesn't matter where you're listening.
Worst and most vile creatures on the planet. Yes. Snitches then would come in second, and cops would be third. Yeah.
How about people who murder other people?
What about them?
Where do they fall
And where?
in your hierarchy?
Of badness? They don't. You want to throw murderers in with cops and chomos? Are you serious?
Ah, she's brilliant on that one too. You can't do that. That's like putting hungry snakes with a rat. What are you talking about? She makes a good point there. Don't you agree? Caught off guard. And this is one of the earliest interviews. I feel like that everybody knows in the true crime community that if you look at old interviews, the glistening gem that's left over,
Right.
You're kidding, right? You can't put murderers in a category with up people. That doesn't make any sense.
Then I go back to nope, don't agree with that. What? Murderers can be fucked
she
up
believes
people.
in her way that everybody that's murdering is murdering for a reason. Like,
that's right. Here she goes on.
Rest assured, if somebody killed it, they had a reason to do it. You need to be looking at the dead motherfucker, not the motherfucker that killed it.
That's where I got mad. I was like, no, you're victim shaming. These fucking innocent people have died. A lot of people have died innocently. A lot of people have died for greed. A lot of people have died for stupid shit. A lot of people died just people they thought they could take their life for entertainment purposes. I like this one.
You've had any guilt about any of that stuff?
Guilt, yes. I'm overrun with remorse. Justice. Justice is lovely. What are you thinking?
That's where it gets me, and I'm like, damn. Yeah, hold up, watch this. Yes. No, the moments in her mouth that she smiles, I know some people smile like that, and it terrifies me. They're on this level. They're on this fucking level.
When I said justice is lovely, what were you thinking?
I was thinking how you feel about justice if they give you that.
That's exactly what I knew you were thinking. I'll be thinking the same thing.
That justice is beautiful.
Justice is lovely.
Insane.
She's intimidating anybody she comes across for fun. Like,
For real though. Hold on, I gotta stop this. Something's moving. Let's see. Do we want to cover that last bit of that video? I think I just screwed it up. No, here it is. Found it. We have to. It's the best parts. Because then she was interviewed many years later, and I do feel like this one. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go on with this one.
Right.
But your belief is that you deserve the death penalty.
Definitely. Well, I believe God. That's what God says. Unless God is wrong, which I doubt. So.
And would God has told you that, or you just believe that?
I believe
eye
that.
for an eye.
Right. Right. I expected to die for this.
What insights can you give us to you? What would you have anyone who may hear this interview know about you?
There's really nothing. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Judge the way they want to judge, just like I do. So.
Yeah.
So be it.
Why did you feel like you were in a position to be the judge and jury in Terry Neely's life?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm really not trying to get you
Right.
angry, but I want to see you say I killed this guy, he deserved to die, blah blah blah. I mean, it's there. You're up front. I want to know if you have any concerns about.
yeah, I'm not.
You in that position to do that to them.
It was just too much. The things he talked about, it was too much.
Do you believe him? I mean, lots of people go around claiming I'm a snitch or make themselves.
Really, you don't say.
Well, it's my favorite part.
You don't say. Oh my gosh.
Where she
talk
goes,
about
oops.
Wait, say that.
Where she goes, oops.
Oops. Go ahead, play the tape.
I know people coming. I've got associations with law enforcement. You know, I've got this. I'm a friend with this.
Do you happen to have a list of those people?
They name drop. Well, maybe in the circle, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
People say lots of things to make themselves sort of look.
Well, he picked the wrong nigger to say that to. If he wanted to brag about putting
that's
so
where
many people
she's giving away that they had previous situations.
That's what I'm saying. I think he
they
was
had
racist.
Previous situations. You see where she gives
right.
This was a crime of passion. He had known her for years. She had been his trick for years. He had been saying he was untouchable. He was a snitch to the police. Like, and she had finally had enough. And that cracker guy, whatever his real name is or everything, the guy that gave all of the truth away from her.
Yep.
They had finally decided that's a wrap, you know, and it is sad. It is sad because she does have a mental illness, and I'm not trying to victim shame the victim. I'm not saying that this wasn't wrong, that this man, did he deserve to die and be tortured the way that he did? You know, I don't want to sit here and say yes, you know, but just go ahead and roll the tape. I don't want to get completely banished off of YouTube.
You picked the wrong person.
And that's what did it to him. That's why.
What, the bragging?
The bragging
about
putting people in prison.
Right.
People you knew?
No, I don't know any of them.
Okay. Do you believe him? Do you think he really was a snitch?
Oops, if he wasn't.
Oh boy. Oopsie daisy, I stabbed you lazy.
Well, you fucked up by lying.
3 days in? Oopsie daisy. What the fuck?
This isn't funny. This is not funny.
I believe he was.
Yeah. Do you have family?
I do.
From an adopted family, or
I have 4 children.
You have 4 children.
I do have 4 children.
Where are they?
El Mirage.
What is how they doing, and how is it for you to be separated from them?
That's the first time that any of her interviews, and we'll see it a little bit more in a moment, that I was like, wow, she really is affected by that effect. That definitely she's genuine. What we hear, it's just there's emotion there.
I
It's
feel like
not
she's genuine the whole time.
callous. It's not callous.
I don't want to talk about my children. I can't do that.
Is there a message for?
Real pain is in her eyes there. Don't you feel it?
Yeah, what's that?
I wouldn't say that she's completely fucking sick. She's still got something in there. That's how when you say this is a crime of passion. Yes, I agree. Because what kind of crimes did he do? Was he Chomo? What was he?
What is there a bottom line or a lesson to be learned from the story of Angela Simpson?
There's a bottom line to everything. But
what is the bottom line to this story?
Whatever people want it to be. It doesn't matter what I say. I don't know.
Insights that you don't regret killing this guy.
I don't regret killing him. No, I regret.
Wait, minor attracted person. What?
What?
To play? Well, I mean that's pretty.
I've never heard that one before. That's the first time I've ever heard that one before. So I'm not even gonna.
And I don't know. I think that she is mentally ill as well, but I think she is taking it too far. I think she's getting a lot of attention and she's never gotten attention. You know, like think about it.
Right.
Prostitute in Phoenix who had been diagnosed with stuff since she was 10 years old. They had been telling her she had problems. She was in and out of foster homes. She didn't get no attention. She did this and now she's like a media sensation. Even us
100%.
talking about it
Because when
tonight.
we see the end of this, when we get to the end, all of us will agree with what Marie just said. Absolutely on point, Marie. Thank you.
At the fact that my co-defendants found it necessary to divulge so much information to the detectives, I regret that. They were people I really cared about, and I regret that they were near me or around me at any point.
And then helped prosecutors.
Help the prosecution, correct.
You
And
aggravated those people.
Definitely, because they didn't know, they weren't actually with me during any of my crimes.
So that means that you were right. She only did it on her own. She lured him on her own. And then she snitched on herself. Wow, bitch. That's what happened.
Fairly snitched on herself. And I think that you did say a good point about that guy may have walked her up there. I don't know. You know, she's not going to be a snitch. Like, I don't think that she snitched on herself. She definitely needed help discarding the body. Like, once she got it in the barrel, that guy definitely helped her bring it to the church. They probably walked down the street like two fucking crackheads would.
Right.
Jesus. Go ahead.
So for them to say that they were to try to get lesser sentences was a little heartbreaking for me.
So friends of yours lied to prosecutors and lied to police.
Correct.
Dropped the dime on you.
Correct.
They snitched on you.
Correct.
If you could.
Okay, I
do
see it.
What you did to
No,
Terry.
I would not.
All right, then I spoke too soon. I apologize, folks. Don't take me on that one.
Because you're still have some relationship with them, or?
Well, no, but I had claimed a bond with them at one point, so I wouldn't be able to avenge that.
Yeah, yeah. Did you act completely alone?
Yes,
crime?
definitely.
So nobody else helped?
No. Totally alone.
Help me understand. For three, I know the crimes.
Now I'm confused. I'm confused now. Are you confused?
No.
Sounds like she snitched on herself, bitch. Did somebody talk when they weren't supposed to? Is that the pimp? Was it the pimp? Could have been the pimp. Who knows?
A passion or something, and in the heat of the moment, but to spend 3 days driving nails into a guy's head and pulling his teeth out.
Right.
Why?
Reminder, people, we were just saying when we watched the last interview, she gave her own expression of this. Now, this is how many years later? Let's see what she says. Take in comparison.
I found it necessary.
Did you find it pleasurable or exciting, or was this
It's just necessary.
necessary?
Right.
So this was more like a business-like proposition. You were doing something that you felt a job that needed to be done.
Right.
Really.
Right.
And whatever came into your head, I'm going to drive a nail into his head. Or was this just a symptom of what was at hand in that apartment?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So in the last interview, we saw her smiling a lot. We saw her giving like all the body language of excitement. Like you said that she was on the big screen TV, right? Okay.
Right.
This one, she's enjoying it in her brain, I think. Her smiles are like reliving it. That's my opinion.
Your moment. I'd like to, because we've got to get run back, and
Right.
I want to get what you say on television. And I'm grateful that you would be willing to talk to us, and I wish you the best under these circumstances. What would you have the world know? You're sort of an interesting character, because first of all, women generally don't commit crimes this heinous.
Right.
This is usually the domain of men.
That's unfortunate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Who?
You think more women?
Oh, yeah. Equal opportunity, definitely.
Why? Let's all go to jail. They feed us. What the fuck?
I know you're being sort of a smart aleck to me.
Slightly sarcastic.
But
yeah,
but seriously,
I
I mean, in some ways, I've been covering murder and mayhem and covered serial killers to petty shoot 'em ups, and you don't meet many women who commit the kind of calculated, long-term murder that you committed with this guy, and you don't meet many people who are willing to say, "I did it," and you know what, deal with it.
Right. That's the way it should be, in my opinion.
But you seem so you seem like you're sort of I'm sort of almost self-righteous about I did this and I did. Do you think you did the right thing by killing this guy?
Definitely.
Other than shooting his mouth off, what else did he do that you know of?
That's what he got done for. He's
Shooting.
white trash. Somebody had to take it out. That's it.
Was there a racial
Intense.
component to it?
Oh, there's always a racial component.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
I'm not going to elaborate on that at all.
She's not going to. It was a crime of passion. I'm telling you.
100%. You're right. You're right.
I'm not wrong on this. She stabbed him 50 times and she wanted him to look in the mirror at himself. He had been telling her all sorts of crazy stuff for years. I'm not trying to victimize the victim. I know that this wasn't right. Again, I will say it 100 times. I don't want to be banned. But at the same time, really think about it. This was a crime of passion. You can only push somebody so far until they're not. And she's owning it. She's definitely 100% owning it.
That's right.
She's getting a thrill off of it. She is mentally unstable. That's 100%. A definite.
Yeah.
I think that this is the most attention that she's ever gotten. And
I think you make a good point there.
Even we can even go to your adolescence,
right.
Kids will act out sometimes when they're not getting the attention because bad attention is attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll reach for it.
The coping skills of people that are usually in foster care systems are not very good. And so what ends up happening is finding themselves in some form of a system, like you said, even being part of the working system, as we know. That's all real. All very real.
Yeah. I wouldn't kill another black individual.
Okay. Would you, if you had that moment?
So I think you make a point. It's got to be a crime of racial passion as well, too. He must have said, she says at some point, I think, coming up soon, I believe even, about how he said too many things. It was just enough.
To live over again.
I'd have kept him alive a week.
But you would have still tortured him and killed him.
Oh, I had to torture him for a week, yeah, instead of 3 days, definitely.
So your only regret is that the torture didn't go on any longer.
Right, and I regret not killing my other victim. I should have killed him too. I just didn't have time. I had to go somewhere.
And tell me who that is.
What's up with that? She'd go somewhere.
I don't know. I think
I
she's
want to go to a
trying to
different
say there's
planet.
more to the story.
Whew, wait, what'd you say?
I think she's just trying to say there's more to the story.
I believe there is more to the story in every way, shape, and form. The thing about prisoners is they can't really tell their story other than through media. You're not allowed to like profit in any way. You could tell it through a ghostwriter, but it's really hard to not add more problems. Even if you've admitted and they can't have the charges, you could do it a fictional way. I don't know if this woman will ever really tell the truth. She's drawing pigly pictures right now. That's what she's focused on, you know.
Joseph Van Tress for the armed robbery. Yeah, I should have killed him, but I had to go.
Will you kill again?
If the opportunity arises, I hope so. Okay, we're done.
Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Angela.
Good shit, dude. That's gonna be crazy, isn't it?
Oh my god.
That's
She's
gonna be
putting on the
wicked.
show.
Make it.
She's
Isn't
putting on
that
the
ins-
show.
Yes, because listen to this part. She goes in and out of her acting moment. Here it comes.
Look good, please. Oh, you're gonna put this on too?
Well, you know, when
Don't put the ending on.
Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, best wishes to you and
Right.
There it goes.
Ladies,
Back
thank
into
you.
the acting.
Thank you.
Woo! Makes my skin crawl, folks. Listen to what the guy says. Listen to what he says.
very real. I honestly can't.
Stop me again. This guy's incorrigible.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm incorrigible.
She wanted Tim to come back.
Lord.
He had cut the camera and then he turned it back on real quick. And what she says is, I won't make you look unincorrigible. Da, 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 da.
He's incorrigible. We're both incorrigible. Best wishes to you. Thank you.
Best wishes to you.
I have
Woo!
Well,
Hardcore.
she put on a show for him. He was
That's
intrigued.
right. I feel like, man, if this isn't a good example of where there's so many dynamics to the situation and it's being treated as just one-sided. I feel like she needs, listen, even if you are suffering with any mental health issues, I don't think prisoners should just be put in cages. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm just not one of those people. Yes, she hurt someone, but are they going to put her to death? No, because she has a life sentence. So what do? We just let them sit there and eat and shit all the time? Okay. What about maybe like, I don't know, use it in a
I think
teaching
that
method.
this
I
should
don't know.
be
It's
an
just
eye opener
insane.
that people are not getting the mental health care that they deserve.
Right.
We are failing.
Well, when we bring you the next episode, it'll be even more insane because that's what we're working off of on this side. These are lady killers for October, as you guys can tell. We've enjoyed sharing this incredible story. I'm sorry, there's so many sides to it. You guys absolutely need to leave some comments at the end of the episode. Check out the videos we'll put in the description. I mean, there is nothing we could really say other than I feel like the whole system's failed. And now we're just feeding and watching them. We're keeping their heart going. That's it. And you believe in the death penalty. I kind of don't. So I'm over here like, I don't know. We learned something from the bad. I don't know. I even think Charles Manson was just like, he had like everything. He had TVs and everything like in his cell. Hooked the fuck up. I think he even had a refrigerator. Take that one.
I don't know how much I believe in that, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Charles Manson technically never did anything to anybody, but he's the source of all the problems for big ass crazy shit problems. And those people gave up their lives too. So it, as in killers, it goes. We're just like to step back and to tell you guys stories or explain circumstances where we want to talk about and break down the little bits and little pieces of things we didn't think that are really taking precedence, which it's a system issue. Don't you agree?
Ask yourself tonight, is it mental health that led to the addiction that led to this situation?
Right.
Or was she a victim of circumstances and addiction turned into mental health? I mean, she was clearly her parents and her situation, even though we don't have a lot of information on it. We know that she was in foster care. We know that she had lost her 4 kids. There's a
Right.
lot more to the story that's being unheard.
Suppressed. That's being suppressed. For whatever dynamics, the reason it is, we ultimately are really glad you guys gave your 2 cents tonight. And hopefully we'll even be talking about this case again, because it's, I mean, I would like to actually get into the story of how this guy even got into that circumstance and the other people that are involved. So stay tuned for future episodes. Maybe we'll add it in the mix in the future. But until next time, guys, we're gonna let you go. We'll see you on Monday.
As always, blessed be and be blessed.
And thank you guys for being here. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.